Recently, from the 13th to 17th of July 2021, Vishy Anand achieved something amazing. He won the no castling chess match against Vladimir Kramnik in Dortmund. Now, why was it amazing? Because Kramnik himself has proposed this variant. He was the one who did research about it. Clearly, he had more understanding about it. But in the four-game match, Anand managed to beat Kramnik two and half, one and half, and also dominated the match with some great positions. Hence, I felt that it was very important to talk to Vishy after the match to know his thoughts about certain positions, what he felt happened, what are his emotions, and also what he thinks is the future of no castling chess. So, my first question to Anand was, going into the match, how did you prepare for the no castling event? Did you think you were at a disadvantage as Kramnik had already worked with Alpha Zero on this variant?
I did set the initial position on move 9. That is, you make a move with rooks and knights on both sides, and then I would leave the initial position, play some moves, and just see what the computer evaluation was and what plans it was suggesting. Um, I think, yes, it is a disadvantage that he might have had a head start, but I didn't want to spend too much time on this because the sequence was I first play in Zagreb, and I feel it's hard to keep both variants in your head. So I thought I will look occasionally, and then in the 2 days before the match, I will try to spend some time analyzing. Nonetheless, we are starting from scratch, so um, I felt it shouldn't be too bad. And of course, I expected, I didn't expect to win due to what we spoke about, and therefore it was a very nice surprise when, in fact, I was in a dominant position in the match. I mean, I won the first game, then second was a fairly comfortable draw, though again I'm the one who missed a chance at the very end, with Rook C7 instead of CB4. Third game, obviously, if I had won, it would have been much more impressive, but I am happy with the result.
In game number one, you played this Rook G1 move. Your king is in the center, you cannot castle. How did you arrive at this idea of playing Rook to G1 and playing G4, G5?
Actually, Rook G1 is a very typical idea these days. It comes up in all sorts of night-offs and Keras motives, and once he has played H5, H4, I can't bring my rook out on the H file. But somehow using the idea that G4, H and then again G4, G5 seemed very natural. So it was not very difficult to see. And I have a big space advantage on the other side. I already felt that I was better. So while this H5, H4 is a serious plan in this variant, I think it didn't work fully here.
You won game number one, and the second game ended in a draw. So you're leading the match, and in game number three, you're completely dominating. Your knights had blocked his bishop, he couldn't unravel. And then you played knight f4 on the 40th move. What happened there? Did you blank out? Because you're completely winning at that point.
No, I saw bishop e5, rook f3, bishop f4, ef4, but I just completely missed rook e6. For some reason, I was obsessed with rook g6, rook g2, rook h2. And that I'm winning easily. And of course, after rook e6, I was so annoyed because I thought I'd spoiled it. And then I even found some small way to try again rook c1. But to my amazement, this position was drawn. I think the mistake I made was I thought he'd play king f6, c5, rook d4 check, king c7, but he can't afford that much time. So he started checking with the king on g6 itself. Then the question comes, do I need to do this rook g1, king h7, and then change my mind and go rook d1, which just shows how disorganized my thought process was then. Because if the king is on h8, then it doesn't come to g6, and then the whole line doesn't work. So, but he doesn't have to allow me what he did in the game. Somehow in the game he allowed this king d5, rook c1 plan, and I think he didn't need to do that. Yes, by the way, I did feel the position was totally winning, and 1 second after I played knight f4, I saw that rook f3 won easily because I saw knight e7. And that was already very annoying because I knew that the rook ending I was doing was much more complicated. The other line just wins by hand.
How was the overall atmosphere of the event? Because after the game, You both were very friendly and jovial, but during the game, both of you were extremely motivated and concentrated. Tell us a bit about how that works.
Yes, that's a nice thing about Vladi, that generally he's very friendly off the board, but he's managed to separate the two. I remember even in Vaikanze 2019, we were friendly the whole tournament, and then at the board he looked like he was in a must-win situation. And you feel this aggression. So it's a new thing of Vladi, where in recent years that he fights incredibly hard. I guess you know that he is now the player with the most number of moves, and at the same time, our friendship remains. I think it's a healthy relationship, but at the same time, I find it quite disorienting to switch hard before the game. Um, but yes, in every game, I felt, even in game four, I felt in a worse position. He was still trying to be better.
Did it in any way remind you of your 2008 World Championship match with him?
I don't know if it reminds me of 2008. In 2008, I felt that we were not able to, I mean, we were respectful, but maybe friendly is too strong.
You know, Vishy, Kramnik said in some of the interviews that you are the toughest opponent in no castling chess because you play really well with an exposed king. Do you agree with that assessment? What are your thoughts on that?
That is the thing about me being good with the exposed, I mean, with a vulnerable king, that is too profound an insight for me to tell. I mean, it could be a very valid observation, but I don't know what to make of it.
Okay. Lastly, Vishy, what do you think about the future of no castling chess? Do you think that it will be played more often? What do you feel?
I think that no castling chess does have a future, or at least we showed that is an interesting variant, but then we have to see how people react and whether other events are organized.
Thank you so much, Vishy, for your time. And thank you all for listening to this interview. I hope you liked it and you got insights into how the first no castling chess match worked. It was won by Vishy Anand, 2.5, 1.5. And we look forward to more such events. This is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye bye.